know that you are going to be attempting 4 subjects, in which is going to comprise of 180 questions, and you have just 120 minutes to answer all the 180 questions, whether you like it or not. Dividing it, that means you have 40 seconds for each question. Is it possible for you to use 40 seconds to answer just a single question? Either yes or no. You will know that by the end of this video. So if you are new here, I'm AY and I'm a first year medical student of Utme University. So in today's video, I'm going to be explaining how you can divide your time, how you can maximize your time to solve the whole 180 question within just 120 minutes. It's no more a news that you know that your Jamb exam is going to come up by May 6th, and on this exam day, please don't pressurize yourself too much to the extent that you will not, like, your brain will not boost faster when you get to the exam hall. There is one thing to read and there is one thing to be able to answer questions, so please just calm down. Now when you get to the exam hall, you will be given a particular book in which they are going to label A. Like for option A, they are going to put all your shortcuts, most of the things that you need, and that particular book is still going to be your answer booklet. You actually need to the exam. So the answer booklet, you can solve inside it, but for the first page, I think first page or second page, you are going to be write A for option A, B for option B. Now all these things, please take note of them. Please read them before you start. If you are a computer literate or not, that doesn't mean. Please don't make use of if you are a computer literate or not, that doesn't mean. Now in this aspect, I'm going to advise you all to make use of your keyboard to answer questions. Making use of your keyboard is just like a shortcut. So if you are using mouse, mostly for somebody that is not familiar with the use of mouse, so for you to be moving your mouse, it will also take some minutes if you are not very fast. So for the use of keyboard, you can easily, you are making use of your handset, your Android, so you all know where the alphabets are. So you can easily click your A for option A, B for option B, C for option D for option C, D for option D, and E for option E. With this, it won't take much of your time. Just read through the question, solve it, know your answer, then click the correct option. With this, you are going to save little of your time instead of moving mouse, moving. Another one is next. You know that your questions is going to be up like this and the numbers are going to be down. So before you still come back to click the next one, it will also take little of your time. Like let me just say seconds, and seconds made up minutes. So if you waste like 3 seconds in moving mouse for you to move to the next question, 3, counting them together before you answer 20 questions, 1 minute is already gone within your 120 minutes. So with this, you can just click your end. It's going to be there. All those, I think I'm going to place it on one side of this video. I'm going to get it whenever I'm editing the video. So they are going to give you, your end is going to stand for next. Then if you want to go back, you will see previous P will be there. So you will see all the necessary things. I'm advising you that you should read the book before you start. Now after you click the question and you've opened it, then you all know your category, you know your weak points, you know where you can beat your chest that even all the 4 subjects that I registered for, I can do this very well, I can do this, follow, then the next one. So grade it even before you start, even before you click on start. The one that you know very well. Actually, for me, most of my exam, and for those that are writing biology, I do advise people to start with biology because biology doesn't deal with any form of calculation. So it's very easy. Like if you see a question that's very straightforward, just read which of the following is not, which of the following is a, which of the following is an example of. So those ones are straightforward, unless there some of it in which you have to reason for like 5 minutes before you understand. So for those aspects, I'm going to talk about what to do with that. Or if you are taking biology or any other subject that you can beat your chest, and they are very simple and they are calculation less, like they have less number of calculation, less or no calculation set. Your biology, you should not spend more than 15 minutes on your first subject. Please take note of this. Don't spend more than 15 minutes on your first subject because it's what you should know. Now with these 15 minutes, you can't finish it. I'm very sure of that. You can't finish it, but you are going to at least you should be able to solve 25 to 30 questions in your first round within these 15 minutes. Now move to the next subject that may ask calculation like physics or chemistry if you are for science. Now this one should not take you more than 20 minutes for the first round. Please, I'm going to explain everything by the end of this video. The reason why I said you should solve for 2 rounds. Now the first round is just for you to just glance through it. For the first round, for the first subject, don't spend more than 15 minutes. For the next subject, don't spend more than 20 minutes. Now the next one too, spend 20 minutes on it, either chemistry or whatever. I'm sure you can finish it this time. But and another thing is, I calculated it and I explained that you will be having 40 seconds for just a single question. Please and please, if you are solving a question and it's taking you more than 1 minute for your first round, drop it. For your first round, I remember in my post-UTME, my last post-UTME exam, there is this question under wave that I have to calculate. After spending most of my time on it, still I don't get it. So probably you may find some question like that you don't get them easily. So don't just waste most of your time. For the first round, spend the first subject 15 minutes, second subject 20 minutes, third subject 20 minutes, and your use of English too. Spend 20 minutes. Use of English is very simple. Once you read your recommended textbook that you may use, it's very simple and straightforward for you to answer questions. It's only the compression aspect that may take much of your time. Now, after spending this 15, 20 minutes, you are going to use 1 hour 15 minutes for the first round. Now, by this, you have 45 minutes left. This 45 minutes left that you have left is left to you. Now, you will still now go back from the front page, like from the number 1, all those ones that you know that you left out. Please note this. Don't answer a question that you know that you are not very sure of. If for any reason you should answer them, please note them down and note them separately. Don't let it mix with your calculations. Please, maybe you should rule a line by one side of your workbook. Then those questions that you know that I picked it, but I'm not very sure. So write them out, write them to one side, so that by the time you still have time, you can go through them and calmly solve them. If you know you are not yet sure, please don't pick any answer yet, because you may later forget and end up scoring 0 with it, and 0 the small your mark is reducing. So with this, after you are through with the first round, then the second round. Now this second round, you can now take your time. Then those ones that are very hard, like for the first round, you know that you didn't solve everything, so those ones that you left out, go back to them. By the second round, you should be able to answer them effectively within this 45 minutes. Now those ones that you are still now unable to answer for the second round are those that probably, even if they give you 1 hour, you will still continue thinking about it. You may not even get it. So don't just waste most of your time on it. Still move on. Then after you still now go through the second round, I think by this time you should have maybe just like two subjects left two questions left on each subject. So the remaining of your time, you can take that to answer them, and if you are unable, and please don't have this mentality of I want to finish my exam 20 minutes before. It's very okay, but for me, since you are the owner of the time, nobody is going to use it for you. So why don't you just calm down and answer your question? There are some that will do that and still later discover they make mistake. If you are the time that you are very fast, like you've been solving past question and all that, and you've been timing yourself, so if you are able to finish the exam within 1 hour 30 minutes, the remaining 30 minutes, that doesn't mean you should just submit. You can just go back and go through the questions one by one again. That's what I normally do. Go through the question one by one. Nobody is rushing you. Just glance through it. By glancing through it, you may discover that you actually made a mistake in one place and that you picked another option, which is very wrong. So going through your question is very important. Don't just think because I answered it within this time, then I will submit, so that when I leave the hall, I will tell people that I finished within 1 hour 30 minutes. Please don't go with this idea. If you miss it this year, another year. So please just make sure that you do everything possible to maximize your time. Don't spend more than 1 minute, and with the use of keyboard that I explained earlier, if you use keyboard, you will be very fast. Just solve the question, pick your answer, click it, solve the question, click it, next, solve the question, click it, next. So this will also reduce this will also help you to maximize your time. I think if you use this method, actually you may have your own separate method, but if you use this method, I think you should be able to finish the whole 180 question within 120 minutes without leaving any question left. And those questions that you know that you are not sure of them, maybe you've not seen them before or you don't know anything about them, but I don't think there should be any question that you do not know, since you've been preparing for that particular exam. So anyone, please don't leave any space empty. Don't leave any space. Just try and pick something. You may be right, you may be wrong, but leaving it blankly, it's still another wrong aspect. that is leaving it blank means you are not even expecting any mark from it at all. So just try and pick something and you may be lucky you get it. So with this, I think you should be able to answer your whole 180 question within 120 minutes. Remember, I said earlier, don't spend more than 1 minute on a particular question. If you discover that you are spending up to 1 minute on one question, please skip to the next. So success for every one of you that's writing the exam. See you in my next video. You also succeed in your exam. So see you in my next video. Please, if you enjoyed this video and you are watching to this moment, please subscribe and share this video to other people that may also be writing this exam, maybe your friends or wherever. And don't forget to drop a comment. Bye.